Hi friends, welcome to Hits and Pits with a bowl of cherries. I'm a bowl of cherries and I'm giving you the hits and the pits from all of RuPaul's Drag Race around the world. Get into it. It's your new favorite show, or maybe it's not. I don't care. First of all, I just need to tell you that I'm dressed up like Spanky Jackson today because we got to catch up on a lot of stuff. We got to catch up on some Drag Race Down Under, Canada's Drag Race, multiple episodes, Philippines, multiple untucks. We got to just jump right into it. So, first of all, let's just get into this dress. It's definitely a cute dress that fits me for sure. It's just, it's definitely fitted for my body. So, just giving a little of that. Okay, all right. So episode 7, what we have is Brucical challenge, which is called Squirrel's Trip. They come in at the beginning and they're kind of talking about stuff, and Fierce to me is just being obnoxious. She's like, "What would you say?" And Vivian says something like, "I just didn't care." I just didn't care. And that's kind of the realest thing. She's just is like, and what? To me, this starts a number of instances where people are instantly discrediting her and saying, no, we're like, no, why are you talking? No, why are you doing that? So the girls around her are giving a lot of feedback about Fierce Delicious. And to me, that feedback is information. You know what I mean? So we'll get back. Brad comes in, suit and tie, but it's like shorts, but it's made out of ties. I think that look is a hit. He is coming in looking real cute. Hey, Brad. He comes in and says they're going to get into superhero quick drag. They're going to be doing lines from the movie Super Queen. And they all come in and basically it's all bad. They all do not necessarily, in my opinion, any great line readings or anything to write home about. Fierce Delicious doing this challenge looks like she's dressed up as Posh Spice for Halloween. She needs to brush that hair, mama. She needs to brush that hair. Basically, not one of them says words like a person. At one point, Jada reads the stage directions, which is totally a mood. So Brad is giving feedback, which he's just is basically being louder, faster, funnier. He's not really, I don't know why Brad is the one giving acting advice. Is he an actor? I don't know. So both Vivian and Fierce, they're both saying a line in a way that makes sense, but they're both missing the joke. So it's they're both getting the through line, da 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 da, but they're missing where the where the oomph is. It's gonna make the line funny or make it land. And then the rest, I kind of just am they're blah 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 blah. So I'm I don't know. It ends up being that Kimmy wins. All right. So they're also Brad doing the one that's giving feedback for the vocals as well. So it just seems like Brad is doing a lot of work today. Brad's coming in doing this. He's coming in and doing that. It seems was the rest of the cast out on COVID? What's happening? What's going on with this? How come Brad is just the only one there? Girls are getting ready for the runway night or whatever, and Irma shares her story of, and I relate to this very much. Irma shares her story of somebody calling out some kind of speech pattern or something when she's young, and then kind of affecting her into her adulthood, and she's still, kind of dealing with it. And I feel for me too, I'm very much, I've been a professional entertainer my whole life, and always, it's playing boy roles. It's always butch it up. It's always, whoa, make the voice lower and all this type of thing. So having, a gay voice, it's a thing that, you're aware of. If you have a gay voice, you have a gay voice. And so anyways, Irma talking about that, talking about her trauma, being very real, very grounded. Then Giselle is sharing stories about when she was growing up, that she had to, be in the closet more, and her experiences of people bullying her, that she basically got into a really dark place. She felt she was going through some depression and also suicidal thoughts and ideation. She said she had a high school counselor that really reached out to her and helped her kind of work through that. And at the end of the episode, they also played the information about suicide hotlines and stuff. And it was just very moving that they both were sharing their stories in this way, just hanging out, doing their makeup, all that kind of thing. And then we get into this story from Jada Shada Hudson where she's listen, the lights were on and then they were off and then the door was open and then it wasn't open. And then she's really milking it and embellishing it. She's no, girl, listen. And then she talks about that her hole was throbbing, when you have sex. And the girl, she had like a ghost had sex with her against her will at this thing. So she's like literally crying. I'm gonna go with she's just being funny as shit because that's dumb as hell. And she's being so serious. And I think that maybe she's trying to like lighten the mood. She's like, oh, listen girl, listen. But that is the craziest shit I've ever heard. And it came out of left field because we're coming from these like very like real stories of these people sharing their emotional journey. Like what the hell is Jada talking about? That was nuts. Okay, then they come out for the runway. The judges all look great. Tracy's boobs look awesome. Like I hope that's not objectifying. I just am saying it. Like it's what every drag queen would love to see. You know what I mean? And then they also have Jeremy Dutcher there, looking good, looking like this. It's a hit for me. Everybody's a hit. Bam, bam, bam. It's all hits. Brooklyn looks amazing. Her hair with the flowers and the sleeves and just everything about it. She just looks, mwah, it's a hit. Like, to me, this is my favorite that I've seen Brooklyn. She just looks like, whoop, it's like, it's a hit. So they come out and do the Brucical. And here are my thoughts kind of about each performer. So Jada comes out and she's in a different hair and color style than everybody else. So first of all, she looks like she's in a different show. And the interesting thing for me about Jada is that she's giving the most precise, like they have this, they have this like choreo as a group that Jada is the sharpest on. But then when she has any solo part, she's like, it's unfocused and she really like, she's moving so much that you can't articulate. The movement doesn't go with ba 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 ba. It's not clear like with the line. It's just ba 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 ba. But then she's so sharp in the group movement. So it's a really interesting dynamic because to me, I feel like as a solo, watching that, like you want to see more focused energy, and to me it would have been a hit for Jada in the room. Kimmy has a monologue where she trails off to the music at the beginning and she's like telling this story that she thinks is relatable, but it's, you know, she's this rich, crazy woman. And then her number is really fun. It's the number that I would probably want to do, and she does a great job. She's like a hot bam, bam, bam choreo gal, and I think she does great. And Fierce does this thing in the musical where she's doing everything like but it's not like, I don't know how to describe it. She looks like a Barbie that has only a certain amount of articulated joints. Like she's not lived in the length of, you know, she's got legs for days, she's got arms for days. I feel like she still is a young performer in that she's not lived in the length of her like arms and legs. So instead of giving like I don't know, she's like a beat ahead of everyone else in the group numbers. She's like hitting it hard, but it's making her be a little speedy at times. I don't know. She does all right. She does all right for me. There's a lot of lines that she has where she does them so literal that I think that if she played them a little different or played them a little more mellow, it would be funnier. So it's also cultivating the comedy within that. It's not just being precise, it's being like lived in, you know? So Vivian does the dance. She does the girls part on this paso doble with these two gentlemen, which to me would be really hard to do the girls part, but she does a great job. I think that she's clearly not a trained dancer, but she has the sense of musicality to where she's doing what she does with it. It's a hit for me. Irma, they keep showing her messing up in the group choreo. And then when she does a number where she's supposed to be exactly opposite of her partner, she's the one that's kind of, is it the running man or is it the heartbeat? Or, you know, like she doesn't know which part she's on. It's a bit for me, the musical model. So in the duo number with the sisters, Giselle ends up being a little more crisper, a little more cleaner. She knows where she's going next. She knows what her next point is that she's hitting. She's a hit. And then the last line that they sing, I didn't really catch it at first, but I went back to get my notes, and they talk about, you don't have to mean it. Just clear the air. Just say it. Just clear the air. I thought that line was funny when I heard it again in the musical. You don't have to mean it. Just say it. Just clear the air. It was funny. So then the runway, the girls are doing dystopian drag. Jada comes out and really nails the assignment in that, like, it seems that she grabbed stuff that is like the neighborhood supplies. You know what I mean? She grabbed the sign from her street. She grabbed the stuff that was left. She grabbed the, you know, the fabric that was around. The thing about it is that I think that she nails the assignment in terms of being literal, literally interpreting the challenge. Just under designed. I don't know what. Miss Fiercelicious comes out next in gills, like ensemble. She's got gills. She's got big crazy teeth. She's corseted and cinched. She's in this bodysuit and she's giving Fish Monster from the Blue Lagoon. To me, it's a hit. She looks crazy. It's great. Vivian comes out as a jackalope. Her interpretation of in the future when we're more like animals and we're remembering what we were like as people. They have a different grill on. She has her baby teeth in it. It's like a weird animal mask. And then like she takes it off and she has this cool makeup on. It's a hit. Kimmy comes out in a silver bra and panties with some shit on her face. It's not giving dystopian, it's giving space girl. Do you know what I mean? She's giving like, you know, Janie Rocket from the future or whatever, instead of like Mad Max Down and Dirty. Like, I don't know what. It's a pit when it comes to this challenge. It's a cool look. When it comes to this challenge, it's not dystopian for me. It's like Star Trek future hooker stripper. You know, I don't know. Irma comes out with a mask attached to her air filter titties, and she has a little skirt around herself that she flicks off to show her hip pads that are see-through underneath. It was like a poodle skirt at that time, and then you take it off, and it's like the hips. You know, I thought it was a cool concept. I thought she looked great. She had whited out eyes, and she was given like housewife from the future dystopian. She's nailing this dystopian vibe. I think it's a cute look overall. It's a hit for me. Then Giselle comes out in a silver jumpsuit, but this silver jumpsuit is giving me dystopian because she's got this parachute bunched up, and it's also giving fashion. So it's futuristic, but it's like something's gone wrong. It's not quite so shiny. It's not quite so polished. It's a little more cyborg, you know, a little more robotic. It's definitely giving dystopian. And then her makeup on her face, she has these little X's and O's that are kind of cool. Yeah, for me, it's a hit. Then for some kind of crazy way, it's Irma versus Giselle in the bottom for some reason. Maybe it's because they were the twins in the thing. Maybe it's because, I don't know what. But Giselle ends up sending Irma home. Let's talk about this lip sync. Irma was giving me every line. On this line, I'm doing this. On this line, I'm doing that. But it didn't have a through line of overall. And I think that Giselle was just giving like a really cool connected energy. She knew what not just this line meant, but she knew what the emotional arc of the line going into the next line, going into the chorus meant. You know what I mean? Like she had a real understanding of like where we're building up into the song instead of just doing ba 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 this, ba 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 that. So it was a good lip sync. For some reason, Irma ends up going home. Bloop. All right, so the girls come in after Irma gets sent home. Womp womp. In America, we say womp womp. Irma gets sent home. The girls come in. They're sitting around talking, and Vivian says, "Am I the only one that hasn't lip synced?" Oh, who, me? Oh. I just thought that was funny. Then the way they're building up, Kimmy is being shady, and then Fierce is being shady, and they're just they're like playfully going back and forth. And the way that it builds up to Fiercelicious saying, "I guess I could keep quiet." Vivian goes, "There's a first time for everything." It goes bum, 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 bum. And the final bum is just Fiercelicious. It was a funny cap to them being ridiculous. So anyways, they're sitting around and they're giving shade, and then Fierce tries to give shade in the morning, and the girls are not here for it. They're like, "Excuse me, no." And this is continuing the pattern of the girls not being here for Fiercelicious or her bullshit. They don't find it charming. They don't find it endearing. They're over it. Brad comes in, and the suit for me that he's wearing is a pit. It's like, I don't know, I just don't like it. It seems like it's like pink slippers. It's giving pajamas. I don't know, it's a pit for me. So the girls all get these really emotional messages from home. They all get family members, and they're all crying, and it's really, you know, it gets you right in the feels. So then Brad announces that it is the ball. He has to go announce that it's the ball, get the masks from backstage. They ain't got no pit crew or whatever. Like, what's happening? How come Brad has to go grab the shit? Like, what? Everybody else had COVID or something. He's the only one left. So they had to do all the mini challenges. He had to do all those days of filming. Ugh. So he announces that it's the ball. It's a masquerade ball. They all get assigned a mask by Vivian, who won the thing. And then they have to make a look, their third look. And here we go. Okay, so as they're painting, they start talking about how everything came from the queer culture, the ballroom culture. And then, did they have access to that? Vivian's like, I didn't have any access to queer stuff when I was a kid. And Fierce Delicious says, you know, I grew up religious, so I actively, because of my religious upbringing, I actively didn't seek out the queer culture because that's just not what I thought was it. So there's a lot of truth coming out. They all share a lot of really emotional stories. So as they're sharing, Kimmy shares that her experiences as a young trans woman, that she has been a victim of sexual assault, she's been raped, and that her experience as a young woman is that people fetishize her. And I don't know, just her sharing that, it really drives home that it's not safe for our sisters, so we need to, you know, step it up and make it safe. So they come out for the runway. Brooklyn is looking great. Brad is looking great. Tracy's looking great. Leslie Hampton is looking great. Everybody's looking great. Okay, they announced the first runway category, which is Mask for Mascara. Giselle Lullaby comes out as a Jean-Paul Gaultier sailor. It's giving very masked, but corseted and cinched, and you know, still makeup and feminine. It's very sexy. Giselle could get it. Like, hey. Then the second category is Incogshito. So Giselle comes out as a nerd, and then she turns around and takes her coat off and flips it behind her when there's a big bustle train, and then she knocks her hair off, and she's got this long pink hair. She's a, you know, orange pink, gradient, beautiful lady. It's a hit. And then the third category, which is Masquerade Eleganza. The look that she makes is these big giant sleeves. It's giving Cinderella dress. The hem on the bottom is unfinished, but for the short amount of time and her having to remake it, it's a hit for me. She looks great. Maybe her little little Prince Valiant bob is not really working, but So then Kimmy Couture, first category, Mask for Mascara. She's coming out as a bearded man, titties out with pasties. It's like a draped over the shoulders with things coming down off the side. Blue beard. To me, it's a great fashion moment. She looks great. Bam, it's a hit. So then her Incogshito, she comes out as incognito mode on the grinder, and then comes out as like pops out from behind a blank screen as herself. And I think the thing is that she's trying to represent that what you see is not what you get or what you're going to expect. But they pointed out that this could be the time where she wears a bra and panties and it makes sense and to be sexy or whatever. The concept is cool, but the look and the presentation of it, for me, it's a pit. And then for her look that she made for the Masquerade Eleganza, she comes out with pink feathers on a yellow corset. To me, it's a pit. Fierce Delicious comes out in her first look as Matthew Anderson, dapper gentleman, you know, blue fabric or whatever. The thing about it from the front is that it's just a little bit, because of when you turn around and it's the back. The first impression is a little droopy, but then when you turn around and you see that it's the corset and the feminine in the back, it's a hit. She looks great. And the pink and the blue is really striking colors. Her Incogshito second look is she's giving African villager with fruit on the head, and then she sweeps all that away, and she's Josephine Baker with her bra and panties. And in both of those looks, she looks great. And she really is giving that like Josephine Baker like mug. She looks awesome. It's a hit. And then her Masquerade Eleganza look is a purple simple gown, purple, you know, stretch velvet. It gives the same qualities of her mask, the same bunching that she does on the hips and the same stringing of pearls that's on the mask. Does it really simply, but it's the simplicity that pays off, and it's the attention to detail as opposed to doing like all this different stuff. She really looked great. It's a hit. So Vivian comes out and gives this historical piece with the bloomers, the shredded pants and the shredded sleeves, and you can kind of see her butt when you're coming out the back. To me, this is a hit. It's cute, it's sexy, it's giving historical references, it's giving different time periods, it's latex, like unbelievable. So then her Incogito reveal look. She comes out in a chef's hat and apron, and she rips off the sleeves and throws that all away, and she's the diner waitress. She has these crazy names. Spaghetti boobies. Spaghetti boobies. It's a hit. It's a hit. It's camp, it's drag, it's a hit. Then for her Masquerade eleganza, she put together this whole intricate black tuxedo jacket with tails. To me, there's no reason that she should have been at the bottom. This is an unbelievable hit. She did it in a crazy short amount of time. I don't know how she's in the bottom. That's nuts. Jada Hudson comes out in her first look as a pimp, and she looks great. She got the grill, she got the diamond pinstripes. To me, she's giving American references, so I'm not quite sure how this is, it's Canada's Drag Race, it's an American reference. I'm sitting there going, she even says the Bronx, so I'm like, is she from the Bronx? Like, I'm not sure how it goes. The look is a hit, bam. So her Incogito, she comes out in a black, she's mirror, and then she throws it down, and it reveals to be a silver cocktail dress. So to me, this is a black silver dress to a black dress to a silver dress, and they're both kind of they're plain. It's not giving what it needs to give for me, compared to the elaborateness of some of the other ones. I don't know, it's a pit. So then the look that she made, she comes out in this black gown with this black and gold fabric sleeves that she made, and she's got this friggin' tulle bunch boobie right here that's swagged down so crazy in the front, and she ends up being safe, and I have no idea how this look ends up being safe, because that swag of tulle does not look good. The dress would have been better if she didn't put that swag of tulle on there. I wish she just came out with just the sleeves and just the black dress. You gotta take one thing off before you leave the house or whatever, and it should have been that friggin' tulle. To me, the look is a pit. No. So then the girls are fighting backstage. Fierce Delicious is being crazy again, and Jada Hudson is like, "You're ugly inside and out." And Vivian even comments, "Not ugly inside and out, girl. Like, it's over." Like, it's feedback and information that we're getting about Fierce Delicious, and to me, it's a pit. I'm not enjoying the presence. Fierce Delicious wins the ball. She had some great looks. She gets $5,000 from Snag Tights. I think actually Vivian should have been in the top and the winner. I have no idea. No idea. The show has completely jumped the shark. We lost Bombay. We lost Irma. Now we lost Vivian. Like, I'm sorry. So I think that even in the runway, Jada was shocked to be safe. Jada was sitting there, they would said, "Jada, you're safe." And she was like, okay, Jada was booed to be safe. Anyways, it ends up being Kimmy and Vivian in the bottom. And I gotta say, this lip sync, this lip sync was a great lip sync. Because, Vivian had said that we had not seen her lip sync before, and we got to kind of see her do her thing. I think that she gave a really good fight. She kept lifting, she kept dancing, she kept doing her thing. But like, I have to say that Kimmy Couture really ate that lip sync. She tore it down, she burned the house down. Like, oh my God. She was dancing like she knew she was gonna go home that night, and it didn't matter. So she was just like going like, full tits out. Like, it was crazy. She was feeling the music, she was on her own groove. Kimmy really, really ate that lip sync. I don't know that Vivian should have been in the bottom. I don't know who would have been in the bottom, but the shenanigans are crazy. So then in the top, we have a top four. Kimmy's worn the same thing all season, and Jada's fun, but I feel like she just hasn't really connected in that way. I don't want Fierce Delicious to win, and to me, it's like Giselle has the track record. To me, I'm going Team Giselle, because she had a great snatch game. She's had great runways the whole time, and it seems like, French Canada is a big part of Canada, so I don't know. Team Giselle for me, blam.